What up, Midgard? My name is Daniel Cumming and welcome to your weekly rune reading. If you haven't done a rune reading before with me, what I always get you to do first is just take a few breaths in and out the nostrils. So as you inhale, expand your belly forward and out, filling it full of air like a balloon. Then as you exhale, just lightly relax the belly, keeping the strong posture. Good. This will just drop you into your body and keep you focused on whatever basic intention you have for the reading. So just a simple area of inquiry, simple question. Doesn't have to be too specific. And what I'm going to do is just start to shuffle the cards as you start to just slow down your breath and focus your attention on whatever area of inquiry or question you have for the reading. Good. And I'll set out 3 sets of runes. So this will be rune set 1 here on the left, rune set 2 in the middle, and rune set 3 here on your right. 1, 2, or 3. Pick your cards now. Alright, with your set chosen, let's go number 1 first. So here we have Lagus and Pair Throw. So Lagus is the idea of overcoming obstacles. So it's that whole transition period where you're moving towards that huge wave coming over maybe towards the top of you. But then you're actually just coming over that lip and then transitioning over to the other side. So Lagus is the idea of overcoming these transition periods and overcoming that tidal wave or overcoming that obstacle that you're facing. So overcoming a mountain or something like that. And Pair Throw is the idea of letting randomness and chance in as part of that. So Pair Throw is the idea of, being in the right place at the right time, randomness, and the idea of a luck. So maybe with Lagus, you weren't focusing enough on letting outside forces. Maybe you were trying to control the whole situation. So imagine you are going for that tidal wave. There's not everything that you can control during that experience. What you can control is obviously where you're steering the boat, how the sails, and of course, what you've prepared for that boat, but you can't control everything. So maybe there's an element of chance that you have to let go of and really trust. So maybe in order to really grow and overcome what you're looking at doing at the moment, you just have to trust. So you really have to let go in some aspects and rely on others, rely on the universe, rely on whatever you consider it to be the element of chance. And don't try to control every element of the situation. And if you do that, you might start to notice some growth coming through that you maybe didn't expect. Number 2. So we have Alhaz and Rhytho. So Alhaz is the idea of communication outside of something, outside of yourself. So it's, our modern day, antenna sign. So it could be mixed with Rhytho, which is the idea of repetition and gaining momentum. So spirals are the idea of Rhytho. The idea of starting off small and gaining this rotational momentum, like a wheel starting to turn, and then being able to ride that eventually, ride Rhytho, right? The idea of, but you have to put in the work early on, gain the momentum, and keep pushing. You can't just expect to ride it without still kicking, pushing, like riding a skateboard, right? You're not going to glide the whole time unless it's a downhill period. But with Alhaz, don't think it's going to be a downhill period as of yet. So Alhaz is really going to be something testing. So if you're trying to create something in the moment, so if you've got some rhythm that you're trying to create, this is actually probably going to get in the way of that, but in order to make it stronger. So it's going to make you refine your rhythm, if that makes sense. So Alhaz could drop you a series of what seems like bad luck, but it's actually going to be there better for you. So if you actually make it through and, be your heroic self and ride through and don't just be like, well, this isn't meant to be happening. It's, the universe is supposed to be supporting me. It supports those who support themselves, who help themselves. So you need to earn that momentum first. And yeah, don't see it as you're not meant to be doing this. Just see it as you need to refine your methods and keep that tenacity and you'll be fine. And you'll be much more rewarded for it. So wait and see what happens if you actually keep with it. Uruz and Ahwaz. So it'd be an interesting mix, and it could be read a few different ways. So Uruz is the idea of this vital life force and invigoration that comes from liberation. So Uruz is the idea of this wild, untamed force. And Ehwaz is the idea of trust and partnership. So it's the idea of, joining forces with something else or someone else in order to become better and bigger, and more efficient than you could have each been by yourself. So maybe you're looking, or you have the opportunity for some partnership which will give you that liberation. I mean, it could be a person that you can embark on a partnership with, but it could be like a business opportunity. It could be some entity that you're looking at partnering with that'll give you that liberation. But otherwise, I mean, you could be stuck or feel tamed at the moment. You could be stuck in this, stuck in some sort of partnership, and you might need to, in order to get your life force back, that your tenacity. If you're in some sort of partnership and maybe you haven't felt that vigor, that energetic wildness before, may not mean you have to remove yourself from the relationship, but maybe you need to bring that back into the relationship somehow, or maybe it means you need to liberate yourself from that relationship. So usually whatever comes to mind first is the right thing. So as soon as I started talking about these ideas, whatever came to you first is probably it. So as I've said before, the runes don't so much give you a past, present, and future. It shows you what elements and what energies are in play at the moment. So it's up to you what you do with these. But basically, these just show you a small glimpse into what's happening at the moment. And in my full rune readings, when I do them one-on-one with clients, I usually do 9 runes. So 2 runes is a very, very absolute bare minimum glimpse into what's going on with you at the moment. So hopefully it'll give you a little glimpse into that, and hopefully that's been helpful for you today. So reading 1, reading 2, and reading 3. So as always, I'm happy to answer any questions you have. If you post them down in the comments, let me know what number, 1, 2, or 3 you picked, if it helped you and resonated with you. Otherwise, if you need a little bit more clarification, I'm happy to do that, and I will reply. So subscribe if you haven't yet, and that way you'll get the first rune readings every week, and you'll also get first notifications of everything that I'm doing. runeyoga.org is where you can find me, and I will see you next week. Rune till Rune.